This August 26th, 2026 meeting of the Union Township Zoning Commission is now called to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Flouty, will you call roll?
Yes, sir. Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Toft?
Yes.
Mr. Wing?
Yes.
Mr. Beckman?
Yes.
We have quorum.
Thank you. Do I have an action on the minutes for our July 29th, 2026 meeting?
I read them and I will make a motion to accept.
Second.
You got a second?
I got it. Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Wing and a second by Mr. Toft. Mr. Flouty, if you'd call the question.
Mr. Wing?
Yes.
Mr. Toft?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Beckman?
Yes.
And Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Minutes are approved. I didn't see any old business on the agenda for
No,
this
sir.
evening.
None tonight.
Thank you. Okay, prior to calling new business, call on Vice Chairman Toft to read a prefatory statement.
Prior to hearing the case this evening, I want to provide a brief overview about the process. When a case is called, we will hear from the applicant or their representative first. The commission reserves the right to question the applicant at any time. After the applicant's presentation, we will open the floor to anyone else who wishes to speak in support of the proposal. Then we will open the floor to those wishing to speak against the proposal. Those wishing to speak must fill out and provide us with a speaker registration form. All speakers must speak at the podium and into the microphone for recording purposes. Each speaker must identify themselves for the record. The commission reserves the right to ask questions of the person speaking against the proposal. The expectation for speakers and observers is to maintain the professional decorum of this meeting at all times. We understand that individuals are often passionate regarding their positions and preferences. However, this meeting cannot properly function if it becomes unruly. We ask that all speakers be conscious of the time, that the speakers be concise and avoid making repetitive statements. Once those in opposition to the proposals have spoken, the case will be closed for public comment. Discussion at that time is limited to the commission, although the commission may ask questions of the zoning staff, the applicant, or those in opposition. After discussion, I will call for a motion from the commission. This motion requires a second, after which the motion itself is open to discussion. A vote will be called and action taken on the motion. When a motion receives a majority vote, the commission issues its recommendation to the Board of Trustees in accordance with the wording of the motion. Our options are to recommend approval of the requested change, approval of the requested change with some modifications, or denial of the requested change. The purpose of this motion is to make a recommendation to the Board of Trustees regarding the case. The authority to grant an applicant's zoning request or deny an applicant's zoning request rests with the Board of Trustees. These cases will be heard at the next meeting of the Board of Trustees, which is scheduled for?
September 8th, starting at 6 o'clock.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank you, Mr. Toft. Testimony sign-in sheets for anyone who wishes to speak are at the back of the room. So we have one item of new business tonight, which is case number 5-26-Z. Applicant, property owner Donna Hendricks, developer Briar Hill Development, is requesting that two parcels located at 4330 Glen Estee Withamsville Road, parcels 41-42-20A-022 and 41-42-20-004, totaling approximately .977 acres, be rezoned from R1 single-family residential to PD plan development to allow for a proposed development of 6 single-family detached homes. Mr. Flouty, will you provide a case summary, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Some relationship to the Horizon 2030 plan is that the map amendment yields that the plans as submitted aligns with the recommendations found within the plan. The affected properties are located within the Ivy Point Commercial Corridor Focus Area Overlay. Some analysis into that, the existing PD plan sub-area number 3, which was approved back in case number 2-26-Z, consisted of 15 single-family detached structure residential homes. Construction will be shared points of ingress-egress from the termini of Larma and Weeble Lane. The additional 6 lots proposed in case number 5-26-Z that we're hearing tonight will be comprised of the same type of uses and structures. The proposed lots will average between 30 and 35 feet in width, will be detached structure housing proposed along the frontage of Glenesee-Withamsville Road, serving as a transition and buffer to the longer established residential uses along Weeble and Larma Road. The architectural renderings and concepts have been provided for the proposed single-family units to be located in sub-area 3. The units are projected to have a floor area between roughly 1,700 and 2,500 square feet, and they will be rear entry garages. The proposed zoning map amendment aligns with the Glenesee-Withamsville Eichholz Road Revitalization and Improvement Plan. The affected properties are located within or adjacent to that improvement area boundary. Some background information: the subject properties were initially addressed in the staff report for case number 2-26-Z, through which adjacent properties were rezoned to PD. Given types of structures and uses within the proposal, this is essentially an extension of or the completion of sub-area 3 approved in that case of 2-26-Z. Density along the frontage of sub-area number 3 for the lots located on the south side of Eichholz Road nets roughly 6.5 units an acre after deducting projects right-of-way along various street frontages. This is an appropriate density transition between the high-density multifamily to the north and larger lot residential to the south. To this point, the applicant proposes a mix of 2-story single-family structures with rear entry garages. The traffic patterns proposed for the single-family residential properties, again, will be off of Larma and Weeble, with minimal shared parking facilities meant to accommodate occasional overflow parking associated with this development. A pocket park and pedestrian areas are proposed for the formal right-of-way areas that are now vacated at the termini of Larma and Weeble Lane. The action required tonight is in accordance with section 680 through 687 of the zoning resolution, that the zoning commission is to enter into a motion to recommend approval as submitted, approval with additional modifications, or denial of this zoning map amendment application presented in Union Township case number 5-26-Z. There are 5 recommended modifications should the zoning commission grant favorable consideration to the amendment requested. The first, that the applicant shall comply with the requirements of all federal, state, and local agencies having jurisdiction over the proposed development as part of the final development and permitting review. That the applicant shall be required to follow all plating requirements established for the proposed single-family residential portion of the project as established by the county. Any changes to the plan resulting in a decrease in setbacks of lot width shall require a PD major amendment approval, notwithstanding PD minor amendment approvals may be utilized to modify the lots in a manner that will result in increased lot width, setbacks, or lot areas. The applicant shall provide a detailed light plan if additional street lighting is proposed. A detailed landscaping and buffering plan shall be provided for administrative review and approval along the commercial residential interfaces to ensure the mitigation of any adverse impacts from the planned parking and circulation areas. And lastly, the building facades shall provide architectural relief and shall result in a pleasing visual appeal to the street in all areas visible vehicle or pedestrian traffic. Residential elevations shall incorporate traditional residential materials similar to those found in Weatherby Farms, Woods of Magnolia Trace, a combination of brick, stone, and high-quality siding materials, and that the colors and materials should generally vary from lot to lot. With that, that concludes the report for the map amendment, case number 5-26-Z.
Thank you, Mr. Flouty. Any questions for Mr. Flaherty at this time?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
As this is a concept plan, if we were to recommend approval, a major amendment is going to be required. Is that correct, to complete the plan process?
So a major amendment would not be required. This is a separate case from the previous case. So this will be its own formal concept and development plan.
But it's only concept in nature. There's no formal components I don't believe.
This would be, we would be establishing the formal plan tonight.
All right,
Any other
thank you,
questions?
that's all.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Any other questions? Okay, we will move on to the applicant or the representative. Mr. Bayless?
My name is David Bayless. I live at number 2 Greenbrier, St. Louis, Missouri, 63124. Thank you for having me back. In the spirit of, you've seen many of these slides already, so in the spirit of just time, I'll go through them fairly quickly. I'm happy to go back to any of them that you would like. I believe, as you know, our first entry into Union Township was Provision Living, the assisted living on Buxton, which is right by the future roundabout at the bend of Buxton. We've also been involved in the continued development of the apartments, as well as back in April, the mixed use of commercial and residential. And that was what was approved back in April. This is basically a continuation of that, and to add these 2 parcels into the townhomes along Glen Estee. Really the same plan, everything we agreed to back in April, and it was also approved. So and again, in the spirit of time, I'm happy to answer any questions, get into as much detail as you like. That's really all I have to say unless you have
Mr. Lewis.
questions.
How is stormwater being managed?
We will have to design that, so we'll go through the civil plans, and they'll have to be approved by, I believe, is it the township that approves the storm? Or
The county
Sorry,
engineers
the
will
county
approve the
engineer.
stormwater.
Are you anticipating any retention or detention ponds being required?
I don't know offhand. I don't believe so.
If one were to be required, would a lot, and if a lot was assigned to that and a house taken away, would that, Mr. Flaherty, trigger a major or minor amendment?
That would be a minor amendment since we're decreasing the overall
Okay.
plan. If they were to add additional units, it would be a major amendment since it would be intensifying the
All right.
overall plan.
Thank you.
Any additional questions? Mr. Bayless, if you're
Thank you for your
concluding,
consideration.
we'll conclude. Thank you. Are there any individuals in addition who wish to speak for the proposal? Okay, anyone wishing to speak against the proposal? Okay, as one member of the public is present and has deferred speaking, we will now conclude the public comment portion of this meeting. Everyone's welcome to stay and observe, but we won't be fielding any additional comments unless we specifically ask. Okay, so what do we think about this plan? Who would like to start?
This is the final piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it is consistent with the previous case, and
It's
it's
gonna tie
2
into 2
additional
parcels.
parcels that tie in. So that makes sense. I was wondering, Mr. Flaherty, can we get a visual, I don't know if we have a good slide of it, regarding this pocket park?
Yeah, let's see if I can zoom in here. So it's essentially the more towards the open space here. So here we have the overflow parking with the connectivity through to the street, and then with the administrative review and approval portion of the landscaping, there'll be essentially additional buffering space through those vacated portions.
Thank you.
Weren't they, when we were here the last time, they talked about that being a walkway to allow the people on the,
Yes, so as you can see, there's two here. This here is a walking path, sidewalk, and then this here is the additional
Okay.
walking sidewalk, walking path.
So that whole area at the end of Larma and Weebold has been left open with a walking path, and then there's gonna be, that's a green area, green space area at the end?
Correct, yes, you can kind of see where the leftover, the streets have gone through
I
there,
see.
faintly.
If I recall correctly, that was a change instituted at the trustee level on this plan. I don't recall the pocket parks being something that the commission recommended.
I'm not sure on that, but,
I thought I would remember that.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Mr. Wing, any
I got
recollection
the
of
original
that?
drawing from that meeting, and it has them on there just the way it does there.
I don't think it's something we focused on in that meeting.
Potentially not.
No, I don't think.
Anyway, that's more of a side issue anyway. Thank you, Mr. Flavin.
yep, thank you.
Any further comments?
Just
Mr. Lewis.
on the stormwater, I recall when this whole renovation of, was done and the road frontage, is that Icolts Road?
Glen Estee, that.
Glen
is
Estee,
the
Withensville, Glen
Icons,
Estee,
yeah.
Withensville. It had an extensive stormwater system installed at that point. I know there was some, when it was being built, there was some clustering of water, and then they finished that. And so, is this all gonna, could this be drained into any water from the impervious surfaces added here, where there's nothing really in the front? That could be, potentially, is where the stormwater could be managed, is through the system that was installed on Glen Estee, Withensville?
More of a engineer's forte, but when designing these roads, they put in, the forethought of the additional infrastructure that was going to be needed as the corridor
Yeah, I was
revitalized through there.
considering the topography, and I think it mostly slopes towards Glen Estee, Withensville. I don't think there's any risk of it going back towards Weebold or Larma, so, yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm fine.
Well, if there's no further comment, would anyone like to make a motion? He says, knowing that the answer will be, I will draft a motion.
I nominate Dan.
I
to draft the motion.
I have to ask, Mr. Lewis, does this meet all the,
It does. No, it does not.
Yes.
This does not meet, there's things missing.
Yeah.
And I'm a little still concerned. It's a concept plan, and there are components missing from the concept plan. So in answer to your question, no, it does not meet all the PD concept plan
that
requirements.
is my
But
analysis?
the notes and the recommended modifications from the staff include those items that are missing.
Correct. All right, thank you. Bear with me, I will draft a motion. Okay. I hereby move in case number 5-26-Z, applicant Donna Hendricks, property owner, Briar Hill Development Developer, The zoning commission finds that the submitted PD application and zone change request is consistent with the Horizon 2030 land use plan, but does not meet all of the plan development application requirements of a PD district plan. Therefore, this commission recommends the submitted plan be approved contingent upon adherence to the noted modifications as specified in this motion. All required supplemental information and plan modifications must be completed and submitted to the planning director no later than 1 week prior to the trustees' hearing of this case. Make the following findings of fact. The subject parcels are located within the Ivy Point Commercial Corridor in the Horizon 2030 Union Township Comprehensive Land Use Plan. This corridor provides that east of the Ivy Point Commerce Park, mixed-use developments that blend commercial and residential uses shall be the preferred development strategy. Mixed commercial and residential densities that are conducive to alternative transportation modes shall be encouraged. The proposed development promotes reinvestment and results in a walkable mixed-use development and maximizes pedestrian access. The proposed development is an appropriate transition between the existing large-scale, high-density multifamily to the north and east and the more traditional single-family residential development to the south of the Eichholz Road corridor. The subject properties are located in or adjacent to the Glenesti-Withamsville-Eichholz Road Revitalization and Improvement Plan, which proposes blight elimination and encourages the facilitation of new housing and retail opportunities, focusing on developing attractive, convenient, and accessible environments and establishing development standards. We propose the following modifications, which are detailed on page 5 of the staff report, items numbered 1 through 5. This concludes my motion.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion made by myself and a second made by Mr. Lewis. Any discussion of the motion proper?
No, I'm comfortable with it.
Hearing no discussion, Mr. Flaherty, if you'd call the question.
Mr. Campbell,
Yes.
Mr. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Toft,
Yes.
Mr. Wing,
Yes.
Mr. Beckman.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. Is there any further business come before the commission before we proceed to,
I have no additional information for tonight. There will be a meeting at the next zoning commission, which is going to be September 23rd.
okay, and so we meet again on September the 23rd, and the case we just moved on will be before the trustees again
On September 8th, the trustees meeting starts at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock in this room. Okay, hearing no further business, this commission is adjourned at 7:22.